Hey guys, Jeremy here at my way MFG. I'm going to start working on this door a little bit. It's going to be the last of the major rust repair, I think. After that, just a patch here and there should do it. Around the back fenders and stuff. But when I took that door off last year, I had to cut the hinge pins out of it. They were froze up in there tighter than the hubs of hell. And ever since then, I've just had 1/4-inch bolts drop down through the hinges to hold that door on. Well, the diameter of them's a little too small. And the door will move on the hinges. So I wanna get that good and tight before I start fitting the door. So what I did, went to town today and I just bought these door hinges, household door hinges, and the pins in them are the right size to what I need. I have taken the one out of that one already, and I've got it stuck in there. I've still got the 1/4-inch bolt down there, but if you look now, this one doesn't move, but the bottom one does. If you look at how loosely this bolt fits in here, that would be the difference. So anyway, I'm gonna knock the pin out of this other one here, and then get it in the bottom, and go from there. You know, that little bit of movement up there at the door hinge actually probably moves that door about 1/4 of an inch when it gets to the back. That movement there's the flex in the front of the door, but I think the hinges are good now. Doesn't seem like it helped us a whole lot, but at least now I know. We're down a good 1/2 inch, I'm thinking. Anyway, this inner structure that the door strap, the stop goes on, I drilled some holes in it for plug welds, got it all cleaned up around the edges. I cleaned that up in there as well, where I'm gonna be welding. I'm gonna get this in first because the position of that shouldn't change, and I'm thinking it would kind of act as a gusset in that corner to strengthen that up a little. So I'm gonna get this in and get this strap test fitted, and then we'll probably pull the door off and just start trying to put a bottom in it. Yeah, I got that in there loosely in a couple places. I think I could weld it better if I took it off the car. I'm gonna test fit this strap once and just make sure everything's working here. I realized the other day these pins are too long. It's got a recess in the door when the door shuts and it's hitting it. So I got to cut a little bit off the bottom of that. I had 3 false starts getting that in. The first time I had it out this way too much. The second time I had it too high. The third time I think I got it just right. That's the kind of thing you kind of need to do with it on the car. But yeah, hopefully nobody else has this problem anyway. This is a terrible door. I would think that most people would have a door better than that, but Anyway, my door's sagging about 1/2 inch. Looks like a lot of it has to do with this bottom hinge. But now that that's in there, I think I'm gonna get the door off and get it up on a table so I can get a good look at it. Oh boy, this door's ugly, guys. This hinge was pretty well broke loose on the bottom. And I've welded a piece along the top of it. That's where that door stopper goes. And I've welded a piece here at the bottom corner of it. And that's welded solid to the hinge, and it's pretty good weld across here. I've still got a lot of flex in this bottom hinge. The reason being, there's nothing attaching along the bottom and there's nothing attaching along the front. This lip here is broke off clear up to the next door hinge. I think what I need to do is get all this cleaned up, put new metal where I need, and get this seam welded all the way solid down to here. Get this welded in good all the way around here, then move to the bottom and around that corner and get this corner secured in, at least 6 or 8 inches of it. And then all the other spot welds I've got along the bottom of the door, I'll grind them back off, jack the corner of the door back up, get it about 1/2 inch higher, and then finish the bottom of the door. I think that's where I go with this. But this door's in just terrible, terrible condition. I mean, yeah, it's just awful. But anyway, we get started with it and hopefully we can make something of it, right? So that's what the next few videos is going to be about, I'm thinking. Get it solid, get it to where it opens and shuts right, and then all I got to do is try to make it a little prettier, and we'll use it, you know, if we can get her going. So anyway, guys, I'm going to start cleaning this up, I think. got this welded all the way down. I've got this kind of welded around better. And I noticed I had a pretty good stress crack right here, and it was buckled out and broke. I think that's probably where a lot of my bottom hinge flex was, right there. But anyway, this ought to make it quite a bit more solid. We haven't turned the corner by the hinge yet, but I'm gonna put it back on the car for now and just see what it feels like. And yeah, flipping that over, that metal along that edge is still pretty solid until I get down here at the bottom. It's real thin and weak down in here. And I feel like this hinge is flexed in a little bit. I think I'm gonna cut this out, put me a patch in here in this corner. Take me a pipe wrench, pull that hinge down, put a little tension on it, and then just weld it to my new patch. Test fit the door again. That up there I think is okay now. Or, you know, good enough for what we're trying to do here. And then I'm gonna have to get a new piece of metal along the bottom, you know, where it's also thin. I'll probably come up just 1.5 inches or so. I'm kind of thinking about cutting another piece out of that old trunk lid. I think that would probably work pretty good across there. It already kind of have a little curve in it, you know. All right, got that bad corner cut out of there. I got that kind of cleaned up. I took a pipe wrench on here and I bent that hinge out a little bit. I think that's what it needed. And I've cut a new piece to go here, and I've bent a little curve in it. And I'm gonna start getting that back in there. Get everything tacked solid. Test fit the door one more time, see if it shuts any better. All right, guys, so we're welded all the way down through here. We got a patch here along the bottom corner. And I started welding the hinge on to the new patch, but I am gonna weld that solid. I didn't want to do it quite yet until I knew. But if we look right now, we're lining up real good. Might be down just a 1/16 or something, but it's shutting. That's the best it's ever been. So I'm going to go with it. The only thing is, it's binding up when I shut it. The bottom still needs to go in further, but the top is hitting right here. So I think it's just sprung a little bit. I think maybe I can jam a 2x4 or something here in the top and just kind of tweak it. And then I think it'll be all right. I can slam it and get it to shut, but anyway, that'll be the next step. And then think I'm ready to take it off there and just completely weld her up, you know. Just wanted to make sure it was working right though. I don't like doors that are hard to shut. Nothing will make a car seem junkier than a door that's sagging, to me, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna go home and eat some supper. I think we got a good start on this anyway. See you in a bit. Hey guys, I've been out here trying to fit this door all morning. It's never been good, and it's still not great, but I've got it fitting better than I've ever had it in the past. I wanted to kind of get it fitting somewhat decent before I start welding it up. I didn't want to get it too stiff to where I couldn't tweak stuff. But then again, I don't want to tweak stuff too much until it's welded a little more solid. You know, I got this skin hanging loose at the bottom, and I would hate to change anything without that being tacked. But as it is right now, I might be down 1/16 of an inch on my alignment here if you look off of the side trim. But it's probably as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna pull it off, finish welding the bottom up. Possibly I can tweak it a little bit more after everything's welded up, but for right now, I'm gonna call it good enough. And yeah, start putting a new bottom in it. Anyway guys, here we go. As things are right now, I've got this whole bottom skin loose from the inner structure, so that's pretty flimsy down there. So what I want to do, I want to get the inner structure back with this curve on it, and then get this tack welded back on there, probably about every 2 or 3 inches. Flip it over and get a look at it, make sure it looks fairly decent. Then we'll cut the bottom off the outer skin and replace it after we get the inner structure in. But I don't like to take a wire wheel to any of this. A wire wheel will get in and grab all this loose stuff and just tear it all to hell. So I just take a grinder and clean up right where I'm going to be welding, just in 1/8 of an inch or so, and get it all welded and then wire wheel it off later. But we got a new piece here in the corner. I think when I done the last door, I done it in 2 halves. I like put a piece in about that long, and then I finished off. I was just using a 20 gauge, easier to bend and work with. And it seemed like it turned out pretty good, so I'm gonna try doing the same thing here. The first thing I'm gonna do is just get a 90 bend in a sheet metal brake. I think by the time I get up to this corner, I'm probably pretty strong again. So get started here. All right guys, I got this piece cut out. It's got a 3/4 inch flange on it. I've put a split about every 3 inches. Right here's the curve we want. We've got enough of the old flange left that we can position this up here. It flexes enough at my splits. I'm gonna clamp it to what's left of the flange and tack all these shut. And that should give us our right curve. This makes for a lot of welding, but with the tools I have, this is the only way I can think of to get it right. Or the easiest way I can think of to get it right, I guess. So I'm just gonna clamp this in a couple places and then just keep moving my clamps and I think I'll clamp the skin too, just so I can get my clamps on better. See if I can just start tacking these and move my clamps as I go. Clean this up around the edges, I guess, and then we'll try to weld it on there. All right, guys, heading back together with this. I've got this flushed up to this piece I put in last year when I turned the corner around the hinge. We'll take care of this when we flip it over. But I've got my door skin clamped in a couple places. It's going to come off too, but for right now, I'm going to get a tack weld here every few inches. Then we'll weld these splits up. When we get to the top, I'm just going to grind it flush here and then just weld it solid across the top. And then we'll make a piece for the end and turn that corner and go up a little ways probably. In here, my door skin, this piece wasn't reaching out to it. I just tapped it with this hammer until I got this to come out. I'm pretty flush there now, so I think that's where that should be. Looks like we've got a pretty good curve there, I think, at least where the clamps are. So I'm going to continue on here for a while. Got this all welded up. I'm going to say 3/4 of the way, maybe a little more than 3/4. I've been trying to keep a wire wheel away from it. I didn't want to catch any loose edges, but everything's tacked pretty tight now. Try to clean this up the rest of the way and trying to see what it's going to look like here. Okay, got a new bottom in that door, 3/4 of the way across. I feel real good about the shape. I don't think anything moved on me. That's what that needed. It was never going to be good until we did that. Next video, we'll get this corner wrapped up and done. Get this corner wrapped up and done. And then we'll flip it over and see what it looks like and maybe fix that outer skin and be ready for a little fiberglass on it. And it's fitting pretty good now. It's not perfect, but it's far better than it was best I'm able to get it is what I'm thinking. I don't think anything I'm gonna do is gonna get it much better. This door has been terribly bad the whole time I've had the car. And actually, when I first got it from Brian, it's all you could do to shut it. It took about 2 people. But Brian was on the phone last night, and he said when he bought this car, after it sat for all them years, this door wouldn't open. It wouldn't work at all. The hinges were rusted and froze up. The pins were frozen in the hinges. Well, the door was so rusty, what ended up happening, by the time he'd worked with it and got the hinges freed up and working, it pretty near ripped the door off the car. You know, there just wasn't enough holding it to use it as a lever to get the hinges to work. So between the rust, the bad hinges, and then everything just being tweaked and bent, this door was just about as bad as it ever gets, is what I'm thinking. You're not gonna have many more door problems than you're gonna run into with this one. But it opens, it shuts now, it's hanging down about 1/16 of an inch. The back gap is too tight, same way with the driver's side. But it works pretty good. If you sit down in the car, you can grab a hold of it and close it. That's really what I want. I don't want a sagging door that you gotta lift up on to close. So as long as that's working pretty good and it looks pretty good, I've done the best I can with it, you know. And at this point, even if you had a really good door, which I wish I did, I still don't know if it fit right, because I don't know if the hinges are bent. You know, they might be. And I may have bent this door to compensate for the bad hinges, you know. So if you did put another door on it, it might be worse. I don't know. But this is in there good. I got all the bad stuff cut out. Up here in this little flange down here was still good metal. I think I've got all the bad rust cut out. So I'm gonna say that's gonna last for as long as I need it. And it's gonna be just fine. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. I want to thank all my subscribers. Picked up a few more. Last I looked, I hit 750. That's pretty good. I remember around Thanksgiving time, I was 666. I didn't like that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share, all them things. We'll catch you on the next one. Later, Jeremy.